Welcome to Seneca Indians Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. Now, let's go to Ben Walcott, live on location.
And a pleasant Thursday afternoon, and we welcome you here to Mount Vernon, Missouri, as we get set for high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. It is the 11-3 Seneca Indians, 2-0 in Big 8 play, versus the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, 5-8 overall and 1-2 in Big 8 play. I'm Ben Wolcott with you for all the action here this afternoon as Seneca rolls along in Big 8 play here today. Your countdown to first pitch sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy. Seneca team coming off a 10-2 win on Monday afternoon against Hollister, a good win for the Indians. When we come back, we'll tell you all about that contest. You're listening and watching Seneca Indian Baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Hello, I'm Josh Dotson, a member of the Hollow Springs Church of Christ in Seneca, Missouri. I'm going to talk to you a moment about loneliness. It is a very deep ache that reaches down to the soul, but the Bible reminds us that we are truly never alone. From the beginning, God has told us that it is not good for man to be alone. And as a matter of fact, he shows us his intention is to have a relationship with him and a relationship with others. That helps us to not be alone in this life. However, we still go through loneliness. Psalms chapter 34, verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in the spirit." Jesus himself, though, we understand, experienced loneliness in the Garden of Gethsemane. Remember, he was abandoned. And remember, he was also forsaken at the cross. So Jesus can deeply feel our pain. He understands the loneliness. But through him, we are offered not only that comfort, but we are also offered a community, the body of Christ. So when we feel forgotten, when we feel that everything has come crushing down and we are lonely, remember God has told us in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, "I will never leave you and I will never forsake you." So let us hold on to the truth that in Christ Jesus, loneliness may visit, but it never has to be the final word. For KNEO Radio, I'm Josh Dotson.
And we welcome you back as we get set for action here between Seneca And Mount Vernon Seneca, a light week this week here as they played on a Monday afternoon, and they beat Hollister by a final score of 10-2. Play Mount Vernon here this afternoon, and then off until next Tuesday, Thursday, and then a doubleheader next Saturday at Purdy and against Diamond. But the Seneca team, you look at it, they got 5 hits, but they put the ball in play. They forced 3 errors against this Hollister team. You talk all the time about putting the ball in play and making fielders field their position, and that is what got things started for this Seneca team in the 4th, down 1-0 after Hollister tied or got the lead in that 3rd inning off of an error. Ian Heffron-Walk got sacrificed to second. There was an error on the 3rd baseman, a ground ball. He got in front of it and knocked it down, but unfortunately for him, fortunately for Seneca, he was unable to field it, and then a balk allowed Heffron to score, and that really got things rolling for the Indians that inning. Scored 4 runs in that inning, and then in the 5th inning they were able to score 5 more runs, 6 more runs. No, I was right, 5 more runs. Nope, I need to do my math correctly. It was 6 runs in the inning, and there was 2 errors on the play by Hollister that allowed them to get those 6 runs in. Drew Sherwood, a big day at the plate, finished 1 for 3 on the afternoon, but had 3 RBI, including a bases loaded, base on balls. Asher Prater, a big day as well, finishing 1 for 4 with 2 RBI. Jagger Wilson got on base a lot. He finished 1 for 2 on the day, tripled in the 6th, hit it to the very deepest part of the ballpark out there in left center, and it was up against the fence, and he got a triple there, but he also was hit by a pitch and walked a couple times, one of those intentionally. Everybody that played on Monday night reached a base at least one time, so that's good to see for these Indians. These Indians, like we said, 2-0 in a Big 8 play. This Mount Vernon team kept themselves in the contest on Tuesday against Nevada, but unfortunately for them, they fell in that contest 2-0, and so they fall to 1-2 in Big 8 play. Big one in the conference standings. There is no district standings here for this one, as Mount Vernon is in Class 4, District 10, Seneca in Class 4, District 12, so they will not meet up in district play. However, it's always a big-time matchup anytime these two teams meet up, and you look at previous history. Seneca beat this Nevada team actually in the Cassville Seneca Classic, beat them 9-4, but that game only went 5 innings due to time limits, and so obviously this Mount Vernon team would like to have a couple more cracks at it here this afternoon. Go ahead, take another timeout, come back with more of the preview. After this, you count down to First Pitch sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. More information 417-526-4984 or online at proluberepair.com.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
And we welcome you back here to Mount Vernon. A beautiful day for baseball here in the Four States area. Had some storms come through last night. Most of them stayed north of Seneca, but Joplin and then even east here into Mount Vernon, they got a little bit of those storms. But field looks nice. Did a good job cleaning it up. It is one of the few dirt and grass infields and outfields in the four-state area. So more than likely on those ground balls, instead of getting those true hops and everything, you're probably going to have to charge the ball here to get those guys out. And it may take an inning or two for Seneca to get adjusted to that because they do not play on natural grass very often. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here at the start of this one. Big week next week for the Indians. Lamar at home next Tuesday at Monette. Next Thursday, Monette and Seneca right now. Monette 3-0 in Big 8 play. Seneca 2-0 in Big 8 play. And that one also has a lot of district implications for this Mount Vernon team. They have a game tomorrow at Hillcrest, host West Plains. Next Tuesday at Mack County next Thursday. So they go out of conference Tuesday and then jump back into conference play next Thursday here in Mount Vernon. You look at this matchup by the numbers. Seneca has not played a lot of road contests, 1-1 on the road. Mount Vernon 2-2 at home. Seneca 7 runs a game while giving up 3.2. Mount Vernon 5.8 runs a game while giving up a 6.4. Seneca, like we said, these two teams matched up early this year. Seneca won 9-4, but that game, due to time limits, only went 5 innings. Seneca lost in Big 8 play last year 4-2. And they lost in district play a couple years ago 4-0. The last time they beat this Mount Vernon team in Big 8 play, you actually have to go back until 2021. They beat them here 5-4. They've beaten them a lot in that Cassville Seneca tournament, but they can't seem to have their number in Big 8 play. So obviously a big one here for Seneca this afternoon if they want to maintain pace in the Big 8 Chance Conference title. And a lot of that, they already have a leg up because they have a win over Nevada. Nevada going to have a lot to say with a lot of these teams as well down the stretch. Go ahead and take another timeout. When we come back, we'll get you your starting lineups. Sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Countdown to first put sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the four-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
Tornado season doesn't give you a warning, but you can be ready. State Line Welding and Fabrication builds heavy-duty steel, safe first storm shelters, fabricated right here locally and installed by people who know what they're doing. Reinforced construction, secure door systems, custom sizing. Protect what matters most. Get your quote today, 417-438-2135, or find them on Facebook.
Loud noise! What you want to?
We were dispatched out here to the old 1400 block. Got some suspicious activity back in the alleyway. 1023, we've got 2 suspects moving a lot of boxes back here in the alley. We're going to approach and find out what's going on here. You two, let me see some ID.
Hey, we're the office concept guys. We're selling and moving copiers as fast as we can go.
104 HQ, this is just a copier company with a lot of sales going on.
Copy that.
Hi, I'm Pastor Rod Van Gorkum of First Baptist Church Seneca, and I would like to take a minute and share about grace. What is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something you don't deserve. See, I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God gives away to me and to others by His grace. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11, "For the grace of God hath appeared, bringing salvation to all men." Have you accepted God's gift of grace, His salvation through His Son, Jesus Christ? If not, please do. For the Bible says today is the day of salvation. For KNEO Radio, I'm Rod Van Gorkum.
And we welcome you back. Your starting lineups here today, sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. First for the visiting Seneca Indians, coming in at 11-3 overall. Leading off is the shortstop, number 13, Jagger Wilson. Batting second and doing the pitching, number 18, Drew Sherwood. Batting third and playing catcher, number 2, Silas Ball. The cleanup hitter is the designated hitter, number 19, Asher Prater. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 17, Ian Heffron. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 23, Remington Albrecht. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 12, Brenton Crow. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 3, Jackson Yoakum. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 1, Ryder Owens. Now, starting lineup for the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, they come in at 5-8 overall, 1-2 in Big 8 play. Leading off is the shortstop, number 14, Cash Garner. Batting second and doing the pitching, number 19, Jackson Hood. Batting third and playing first base, number 1, Brody Wilmuth. The cleanup hitter is the designated hitter, number 25, Aiden Tennyson. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 21, Zarek Pham. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 17, Jaden Sexton. Batting eighth and doing the catching, number 8, Matt Hodson. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 33, Keegan Botts. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 2, Jax Evans, as the umpires and the coaches are meeting here, and then we will get starting lineups introduced and have a national anthem, and then we will get underway. But it is a beautiful day here in the 4 states, partly sunny skies. On the way here, it was mostly cloudy, but the sun has come out. It says it's 77, real feel of 80 outside, mostly sunny skies here this afternoon, and it does not look like there's another real threat of rain until next Wednesday. Obviously, things can change because we saw that change over the last couple of days going into Monday's game. We thought may have a hard time getting Monday's game in, and then by the end of the weekend, there was no chance of rain Monday, even a slighter chance Tuesday. And then yesterday was supposed to be the big weather day. Chance of weather tomorrow in the 4 states area as well. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. But beautiful day here in Mount Vernon. It's just a little bit shorter dimensions. They have just as much foul territory as Seneca does. And in fact, the bullpens are what juts in the foul territory as you get closer to the foul lines in Seneca. There is none of that here in Mount Vernon. You got all kinds of foul territory here in Mount Vernon. However, it's 305 down the left field line, 310 down the right field line, and 365 to 365 to dead center. We'll go ahead and take a time out. When we come back, we'll get you the start of the contest after this. You're watching and listening to Seneca Indian Baseball here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I learn best by doing.
I enjoy helping others.
I want to leave my mark.
Here, I discovered what I can do and who I can become.
What begins on this campus moves into studios, hospitals, and communities around the globe.
This is Missouri Southern State University.
Explore boldly.
Care deeply.
Impact globally.
One expanded mission built with lion pride.
Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
Forbes asked and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they've built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
I'm Mark Taylor, General Manager of KNEO Radio and the CEO of the Sky High and Seneca Indians Broadcasting Network. As we bring you these high school sports broadcasts each week, there are additional hours and behind-the-scenes work that has to be done to bring you this broadcast. And there's more and more equipment needed with the expansion of the internet or radio broadcast equipment, social media, plus there's fees, announcer costs. It all can add up. If you're a business, we could use your sponsorship. And if not, we are a non-for-profit broadcaster, so your gift is tax deductible. With less sponsors, we have to cut back on how many games or events done, and if that number drops too low, then we have to make other changes. So we would appreciate and look forward to the opportunity to get your business, church, or yourself involved. Contact us to find out more by calling 417-451-5636 or go to kneo.org and contact us there. We will follow up.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and mobile check deposit, plus a bundled savings account to help them plan ahead. Parents get peace of mind with no monthly fees, parental debit card controls, alerts and notifications, joint ownership, and full account access. Stop by any First Community Bank location to open a teen checking account today. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for details.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshowcc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
And we welcome you back as we get set for action here between Seneca and Mount Vernon here this afternoon. Once again, Seneca's starting lineup will look like this here this afternoon. Jagger Wilson leads things off. Drew Sherwood batting second. Silas Ball third. Asher Prater, the designated hitter, is the cleanup hitter. Ian Heffern fifth. Remington Albrecht sixth. Brenton Crow seventh. Jackson Yoakum eighth. And Ryder Owens ninth. For Mount Vernon, they will look like this in the field. Zarek Fahm is in left field. Jaden Sexton in center. And in right field is Trevor Smith. Left to right in the infield, Keegan Botts at third. At short is Cash Garner. At second is Jax Evans. At first is Brody Wilmoth. And the battery is Matt Hodson catching Jackson Hood here this afternoon. As Mount Vernon is going to complete their warm-up tosses, and we will be underway here shortly. Like we said, a beautiful day for baseball here in the Four States area. 75 degrees here at first pitch in Mount Vernon. Jagger Wilson leads things off. Seneca the Grays, gray pants, gray tops, red trim, and red numbers. Mount Vernon, the white pants, green tops, white trim, and numbers here this afternoon. As Wilson will lead things off here against Jackson Hood. First pitch this afternoon at 4:32. And that first pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Went with the breaking ball there to start things off. So here comes the 0-1 pitch from Hood. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count quickly 0-2. And now Wilson needing to protect here with two strikes. 0-2 the count here on Hood. On Wilson. So here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike three. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And there's one down as Drew Sherwood will step in for Seneca. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Zach's Car Wash, all sponsoring the broadcast. As here comes the first pitch from Hood to Sherwood. That pitch is low and inside for a ball. It counts 1-0. Sherwood and Ball, the next two scheduled hitters. Anybody who reaches Asher Prater would come to the plate. 1-0 the count. Here comes the 1-0. That stays high and outside. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out here. Top first. Comes the 2-0. Fouled out of play. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count here on Sherwood. 1 out here in the inning. As first baseman Brody Wilmoth is going to talk to his pitcher, Jackson Hood. 2-1 the count. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Hood. At 2-1. breaks, and the count is 2-2. Umpire tried to ring him up a strike early. 2-2 the count.
Appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556, or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
And we welcome you back as we get set for the bottom of the first here in Mount Vernon. Cash Garner, Jackson Hood, Brody Wilmuth are the first three scheduled hitters. Aiden Tennyson, Zarek Fahm, Jaden Sexton, Matt Hodson, Keegan Botts, and Jax Evans are the scheduled hitters working against Drew Sherwood here this afternoon. As Cash Garner will lead off the inning here for Mount Vernon. Working against Drew Sherwood. So here comes the first pitch. Fouled back into the screen. Counts no balls and a strike. Both pitchers trying to get ahead early here. It's 0-1 the count. So here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Hood was able to get ahead of the leadoff hitter and strike him out on 3 pitches. See if Sherwood can do the same. So here comes the 0-2 offering. That pitch is yanked down the right field line. It's a fair ball. It's going to dunk in front of Albrecht. And Cash Gardner is in there with a leadoff single. Jackson Hood will come to the plate here for Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon has the leadoff man on here. As Seneca will try and roll a pair. As here comes the first pitch, and that is in the dirt for a ball, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. They've got the runner picked off. Crow going to throw to Wilson. Back to Sherwood. So they got him in a rundown, and they finally tag him out with Ryder Owens. There's 1 down. It's a 1-3-6-1-4 putout. And there is 1 out here in the first inning. Still 1-0 count here on Jackson Hood. That pitch hits the bottom of the zone. And the count is 1-1. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, Northwest Arkansas Naturals sponsoring the broadcast. 1-1 is lofted in the air. Owens calling for it out there in short right field. And he's able to snag it for out number 2. As Brody Wilmuth will come to the plate. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, Spring Safe First Storm Centers, all sponsoring the broadcast. Yes, here comes the first pitch to Wilmuth, and that's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Comes the 0-1. As it will be 4-5-6 here for Seneca. It will be 4-5-6 here for Seneca. As Asher Prater takes a strike to start the half inning. As here comes the 0-1 as 2 strikeouts for Hood there in the top of the first. The breaking ball is just outside. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count here on Prater. Comes the 1-1. Fastball fouled back into the screen, and the count is 1-2. Vernon at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. A win. One and two the count here. So here comes the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball is hit in the air. Center fielder does not have to move very much, and he will snag it out there for out number one. So Ian Heffernan will come to the plate for Seneca. So Heffernan at the plate now for the Indians. It's one down. Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians, as Heffernan swings through the breaking ball, and the count is no balls and a strike. 0-1 the count here on Heffernan. Comes the 0-1. Fastball is yanked down the first baseline, and it's a fair ball just past the bag. It will be a single for Heffernan. That ball blasted past the first base line and bag fair as Remington Albrecht will come to the plate. Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday, April 21st to begin a 6-game series versus the Wichita Wind Surge that goes through Sunday, April 26th. Ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com. Support our high school baseball on KNEO. That first pitch hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. Heffernan dancing over there at first base. 0-1 the count. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Not a huge lead over at first. Swung on and missed on that fastball, and the count is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. As here comes the 0-2. Well, as Hood had to wait and find a sign that he liked.
To 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
4-5-6 due up for Mount Vernon here in the bottom of the second. Aiden Tennyson will lead things off, and he swings and misses at the first one, so the count's 0-1. Zarek Fahm and then Jaden Sexton are the next two. Anybody who reaches Matt Hodson would come to the plate. Comes the 0-1. Hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-2. As here comes the 0-2 pitch. That hits the outside corner for strike 3. 2 strikeouts now on the afternoon for Sherwood. They're over 2 innings, but back-to-back strikeouts. As Zarek Fahm will come to the plate here. And as here's the first pitch to him. That ball is laced into left field in front of Yoakum there in left field. A 1-out base runner here for Mount Vernon. Seneca able to pick off Cash Garner in the first. See If Fahm goes anywhere, as Jaden Sexton will come to the plate here for Mountaineers. First pitch is fouled out of play, and the count is 0-1. Not a big lead by any stretch of the imagination over at first base. 0-1 is low and outside, and the count's 1-1. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Zach's Car Wash sponsoring the broadcast. So that pitch is outside, and the count is now 2-1. Daryl always says 2-1 should be your pitch because pitcher doesn't want to go 3-1. Here comes the 2-1 throw back behind Fahm, and he's back safely. Count remains 2-1. Sherwood has one of the better pickoff moves I've seen, as that pitch is high. I want to see if he swung. He did not. The count is now 3-1. Certainly didn't look like he swung from my vantage point either. 3-1 the count. And that hits the top of the zone, and the count's full at 3-2. So here comes the 3-2 from Sherwood. That ball is lifted in the air to left center field. Heffron going to go over and snag it on the run. And there are two down here, as Matt Hodson will come to the plate for Mount Vernon. We said dimensions here are a little bit smaller than Seneca. 310 down the right field line, 365 to dead center, 305 down the left field line. As Hodson comes to the plate, let's see if Seneca can strand another base runner. A throw behind Fahm, and he's back safely. Does not have a big lead, like we said, by any stretch of the imagination. First pitch is popped in the air, foul out of play, and the count is 0-1. 2 outs here. Fahm had a 1-out single, and he's been at first base ever since. 0-1 breaking ball is in there for a strike, and the count is 0-2. 2 outs here. 0-2 count. Comes the 0-2 from Sherwood. Breaking ball popped in there, foul, and that's going to sneak out of play towards the tennis courts. So count remains 0-2. Hudson did a good job to get a piece and keep himself alive. Count remains 0-2. Comes another 0-2. Swung on and missed on the high fastball. And that will end the inning. For Mount Vernon, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the third inning with no score here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian Sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians! Hottle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Hottle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HottlespringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Hottle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, we want to go to heaven with you.
8, 9, and 1 due up for Seneca here in the third inning. Jackson Yoakum, Ryder Owens, and then back to the top of the order in Jagger Wilson. Efren had a one-out single in the second. That is Seneca's lone base hit so far. And he just barely kept it fair inside that first base bag. Hood's been doing a good job of keeping these Seneca hitters off balance. Comes the first pitch. Fastball is hit to shortstop. Plays it on a couple of hops and out by half a step is Yoakum. 6-3 put out, and there's one down as Ryder Owens comes to the plate. Kind of interesting here. You know, he's been keeping him off balance, whether he's throwing fastball, curveball. First pitch, he threw first pitch curveballs to Wilson and Sherwood, who both just watched it go by. So here comes the first pitch to Owens. Swings and misses. And the count is 0-1. Wilson on deck for Seneca. If anybody can reach, Sherwood would come to the plate. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1. That is yanked outside. And so the count's 1-1. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and the Springfield Cardinals all sponsoring the broadcast. Here comes the 1-1 to Owens. And that breaking ball stayed up. It counts 2-1. Love to get somebody on with Jagger Wilson on deck. 2-1 the count here on Owens. Comes the 2-1. Swinging and misses at the high fastball. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out here. Top third. Hood waiting for the sign from his coach. Doesn't like the first one he was given. Now it will step on. Here comes the 2-2 to Owens. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. 4 strikeouts, first time through the order for Hood. Jagger Wilson will come to the plate here for Seneca with 2 outs. Top of the order again here for the Indians. See if they can get a 2-out rally started. Here comes the first pitch to Wilson. Takes a fastball for a strike. Counts 0-1. First inning started off Wilson with a breaking ball. 0-1 the count here on Wilson. Comes the 0-1 from Hood. Breaking ball is low. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Also have a lot of backstop back here. And there's a pad in front of us. So if ball gets by, it could potentially ricochet back. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball is just outside. And the count is 2-1. Mid-America Specialty Markets, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, CareNet Pregnancy Center, sponsoring the broadcast. 2-1 the count here on Wilson. 2-1 is inside, and he's got a 3-1 count. Did not miss by much, but when you set up on the outside and it hits the inside, you're going to have a harder time getting that call. 3-1 the count here on Wilson. Comes the 3-1 offering. Breaking ball is just inside for ball 4. 2-out base runner and Jagger Wilson. Don't be surprised if he's off for second in a pitch or 2. So Drew Sherwood will come to the plate here for Seneca. Sherwood usually good about taking a pitch or two to try and allow Wilson to get to second base. Wilson's waiting for him to step onto the rubber. They are going to throw back behind him. And Wilson in safely. Wasn't a big lead at first. We'll see if he tries to get a bigger lead once Hood's on the rubber. Not a huge lead. He's inching out there a little bit. He is off on the first pitch. Fastball is high, and it gets by the shortstop, so a stolen base. I think the pitch was a ball anyway, so the count's 1-0. So now a base hit could potentially give Seneca a first run of the contest. 1-0 the count here on Sherwood. So he's going to step out for a second. And now step back in. Comes the 1-0 from Hood as Wilson dancing back there at second base. A 1-0 breaking ball hits the outside corner. And the count is 1-1. That was a pretty good pitch there by Hood. 1-1 the count here on Sherwood. As here comes the 1-1 pitch. They aren't holding Wilson on at all, so it'll be interesting to see. And Hood going to step off because I think he's distracted by Wilson at second base. Sometimes can help the hitter because the pitcher loses the strike zone a little bit, or he grooves one in there. 1-1 the count here on Sherwood. Comes the 1-1. And it misses inside, and the count is 2-1. Fastball missed that inside corner. 2-1 the count here on Sherwood. As after getting the first two outs pretty quickly, Hood walked Wilson, and now a 2-1 count here on Sherwood. Comes the 2-1. Breaking ball hit to the right side. Long run for the second baseman, and it just gets by him, and Jagger Wilson is going to come in and score on the play. Second baseman there had a long ways to run and couldn't quite knock it down to keep it in the infield. It's an RBI single for Drew Sherwood, and Seneca draws first blood here this afternoon. As Silas Ball will continue here and see if Seneca can add on. 1 run in the inning. That was a nice effort out there at second base by Evans, but couldn't quite get there. Ball takes a fastball to start the at-bat, and the count is 0-1. Talk about how walks and errors will kill you, and it was a walk, and then a stolen base and a single allowed Seneca to get first run of the game. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1. Sherwood, a delayed steal. Nice throw by the catcher there, but in safely is Sherwood. But the 0-2 count now. Ball needs to protect here with 2 strikes. As here comes the 0-2 pitch from Hood. Breaking ball is outside. And the count now 1-2. Once again, a base hit could potentially score Sherwood, unless they can somehow keep the ball in the infield. So here comes the 1-2 from Hood. 1-2 is outside in the dirt. And taking third on the wild pitch is Sherwood. Did not get very far away from the catcher, Hodson, but enough to allow Sherwood to take third as he feigned to throw to third base there. Probably smart decision by him to not throw, because only really bad things could happen there. Comes the 2-2. That ball is hit to center field. Center fielder is drifting back and will catch it for out number 3. For Seneca, 1 run in the inning on 1 base hit. There were no errors, and they strand 1. 2.5 in the books. Seneca up just 1-0.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
My name is Bob Hampton. I'm the minister for the Hollow Springs Church of Christ. Has anybody ever made a promise to you but failed to keep it? May have been a family member or a friend. You know, a lot of times people will make a promise and for some reason they fail to keep them. But I know someone who always will keep his promise. In fact, the scriptures talk about Jesus making magnificent promises, precious and magnificent promises. And when Jesus makes a promise, he'll keep it, because Jesus is the same today, yesterday, and forever. He cannot lie. In fact, John chapter 14, verse 1 and following, let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. You can count always on Jesus to keep his promise. Promises made, promises kept. I'm Bob Hampton for KNEO Radio.
Mount Vernon will have their 8, 9, and what hitters due up. Keegan Botts, Jax Evans, and then back to the order, top of the order, in Cash Garner. As Drew Sherwood begins his 3rd inning of work here in Mount Vernon. The sun has fallen behind some clouds. And the wind has picked up a little bit as that first pitch is in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. What little wind there is going out towards center field as that pitch is low for a ball. And the count's 1-1. So here comes the 1-1. Just outside. And the count's 2-1. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, Northwest Arkansas Naturals, sponsoring the broadcast. Here comes the 2-1, and that's fouled into the screen, and the count becomes 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Botts. So here comes the 2-2. That pitch is hit on a couple hops. Wilson going to have to charge it, and he can't get there. It's going to stay in the infield, but it's an infield single, and that's exactly what we're talking about with natural grass there. Sherwood couldn't get it. Wilson had to charge, and that was his only play and couldn't quite get there. As Jax Evans comes to the plate, and with the top of the order due up next, don't be surprised if Evans is trying to bunt him over to second. Probably throw over to first just to see, and he is bunting. It is fouled at the plate. Counts 0-1. Coach Eust wanting to have an argument. I mean, they didn't tag him, so I don't understand how you could say there's an out there, because I did not see a tag. If it hit him in the batter's box, then it's just a foul ball. So the 2 umpires are having a conversation here. One of the coaches is not going to be happy. And they are going to call the batter out. I did not see a tag, so that's very interesting. So now the Mount Vernon coach getting an explanation. And I'm sure He's not going to be happy about that explanation. Got it from the home plate umpire, and now he's going to go and talk to the field umpire because I think the field umpire is the one that potentially saw it. So there's one down now for Cash Garner, as there's a long conversation as the Mount Vernon coach talked to the home plate ump, went to the field ump, and now back to the home plate ump. And I don't blame him because you called a foul ball, and I did not see a tag at all. It will be interesting to see. Mount Vernon coach is upset. So far, they got a pretty long leash because I think the umpires may realize they blew it here. And so we'll see what happens here with the Mount Vernon coach. But that's a big out regardless, because instead of potentially trying to get the runner to second with one out in the top of the order, you have the runner at first with one out in the top of the order still. Long explanation here. And the question just becomes, how long do they let the Mount Vernon coach argue? And the Mount Vernon coach is, and I don't blame him for not being happy because I don't necessarily think that was called very well. That was a long time before they called a foul ball.
Number 14, Cash Garner.
As Cash Garner will come to the plate, runner on first with one out. He singled his first time up. First pitch down the third base line, just foul, and the count is 0-1. Just to the left of that third base back. Mount Vernon coach stewing at third base coaching box. 0-1 the count. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. See if Sherwood comes home or goes to first. Comes home. A ball yanked down the third base line, and it's yanked fair. And McKinney had to go get it. It's an infield single, and the runners will be at first and second for Jackson Hood. It's kind of the Bermuda Triangle over there behind first base where Hood popped out to Ryder Owens his first time up, as Mount Vernon's got something brewing here with one out. So here comes the first pitch from Sherwood. Swung on and missed. Good block there by Ball. They're going to switch baseballs. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, Safe First Storm Shelters, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 0-1 the count here on Hood. Comes the 0-1 pitch from Sherwood. Pretty big lead at second for Botts. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. May have been a changeup. And the count's 0-2. Love a strikeout here if you're Sherwood. Wouldn't mind rolling two either. 0-2 is outside. It's not a bad spot to miss, though. And the count is 1-2. Brody Wilmoth on deck. He struck out. So here comes a 1-2 from Sherwood. Hasn't been hard contact against him this inning, but just where Seneca fielders can't field it. As Hood calls time. Count remains 1-2. 1-2 is outside. And the count goes to 2-2. Bots causing a little bit of havoc here. Second base. Here comes the 2-2. And that is high. And the count is full at 3-2. And Silas said the pitch was up a little bit. Hoods worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. Comes the 3-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3 anyways. So you get that second out. As Brody Wilmoth will come to the plate. Strikeout victim his first time. 4 strikeouts here in the game for Sherwood. They are playing him to pull. Heffron out. So that breaking ball's in there for strike. Counts 0-1. Heffron about 5 steps to the left of the second base bag out there in center field. Here's a big gap in right center because the right fielder, Albrecht, is basically playing straight up. They fake a throw back, chasing Bots back to the bag. 4-State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau agent Josh Dotson, the Yosh Area Chamber of Commerce, Hottle Springs Church of Christ, Toner Connections all sponsoring the broadcast as that pitch is up. And the count's 1-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Seneca got the first run across. Mount Vernon's threatening here in the bottom half. Comes the 1-1. That pitch is outside, and the count is 2-1. Maybe up as well, and the count's 2-1. As here comes the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball shot foul towards the first base coaching box, and the count is 2-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. 1 ball away from runners being in motion and potentially a gap shot, giving Mount Vernon a 2-1 lead. Comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that ends the threat for Mount Vernon. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We head to the 4th inning. Seneca is up 1-0.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Asher Prater to lead off the 4th here for Seneca, 4-5-6. Prater, Heffron, and Albrecht working against Hood. We talk about how walks and errors will kill you as that first pitch is a ball and the count is 1-0. It was a walk. Eventually came around and scored for the Indians there in the 3rd. That's the only walk Hood's given up through 3 innings so far against 4 strikeouts. Comes the 1-0 to Prater. Fouled straight back into the screen, goes all the way back to catcher, and the count's 1-1. Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday, April 21st. Begin a 6-game series versus the Wichita Wind Surge that goes through Sunday, April 26th. Ticket information at nwanaturals.com. A sponsor of high school baseball on KNEO, as that breaking ball is inside. And the count is 2-1. Leadoff hitter for Seneca here in the fourth. So here comes the 2-1 from Hood. That pitch is popped up in the air. Center fielder coming in. And we'll snag it out there in short center field. And there is one down here. As Ian Heffron will come to the plate. Heffron hit a single just inside that first base bag. His first time up. Springfield Cardinals return home to Hammonds Field on Tuesday, April 21st, as they begin a 6-game series versus the Midland Rockhounds that goes through Sunday, April 26th. Ticket information, visit springfieldcardinals.com. Supporter of high school baseball on KNEL. Comes the first pitch to Heffron, and it's high for a ball, and the count is 1-0. We have so far, only 3 innings in, but we got a pitcher's duel on our hands. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. That goes back to the screen. The count is 2-0. It was the 4th inning on Monday that Seneca scored 4 and then scored 6 in the 5th. Love 4 more runs here in this half inning. 2-0 the count here on Heffron. That ball is hit in the air to left center field. The left fielder looked like he was struggling to find it for a second and then found it. And there are 2 down now for Remington Albrecht. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com. It's KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO 917 Sports. 2 down here. Top 4. Mount Vernon stranded 3 base runners, and they have 4 hits. Seneca has stranded 2 base runners. So that fastball hits the inside corner, and the count's 0-1. As here comes the 0-1 pitch from Hood. 0-1 is fouled into the screen. And the count is 0-2. So now Albrecht needing to protect here with 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th in Mount Vernon. As Albrecht steps out, now steps back in. Comes the 0-2. Breaking ball hit to the right side. Couple hops. Second baseman going to field it and throw him out. That will end the inning. Nothing doing for Seneca here in the 4th. We head to the bottom half. Seneca up 1-0 on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Anyone who has played golf knows how hard it is. Being on the golf course is supposed to be enjoyable, but it's difficult to have joy while dealing with bad shots and bunkers. As followers of Jesus, we face a similar struggle to have joy when we deal with the difficulties of life. Instead of enjoying God's presence during trials, we can easily lose sight of delighting in Him when life's bogeys happen. However, once we start to lose our joy and excitement for the Lord, we must shift our mindset and remember that our satisfaction and enjoyment are found in Him. Psalm 16:11 reminds us, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore." Today, let's find our joy in the Lord's presence. And even when life is hard, we can enjoy being on the tough course, knowing He is with us. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
Very first pitch of the inning, Aiden Tennyson rips one into center field, and it gets by Ian Heffron there in center field and rolls all the way to the wall. It's a double to start the inning for Aiden Tennyson, as Zarek Fahm will come to the plate. He singled his first time up. That was one that was kind of interesting because it looked like Efren might have a chance to catch it, couldn't catch it, and then once it got by him, it rolled all the way to the wall. Comes the first pitch, and he brings the bat back, and the count's 1-0 as that pitch is in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Mount Vernon may be playing small ball here as Fahm squared. He squares again, and he pulls back again. And the count is 2-0. I'll see what happens here. 2-0 the count. With a 2-0 count, they may let him swing away now because he's way ahead. Comes the 2-0. He's swinging away and swings and misses. Counts 2-1. See if they let him swing one, and now see if they're going to go back to trying to have him bunt. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. They're going to have him square. It's bunted, and it is a perfect bunt. It's a fair ball, and it's a bunt single for Fahm. And that's what sometimes will happen here on that true grass. These things will stay fair. Tying run at third now. Go ahead run at first. As Jaden Sexton will come to the plate. He flew out to center field his first time up. Seneca would give up a run for 2 outs. So here comes the first pitch, and they're going to throw back behind Fahm, and he's back safely. Lefty-lefty matchup here. So here comes the first pitch to Sexton. Swung on and missed on the high fastball. And the count is 0-1. I wonder if potentially a safety squeeze or a delayed steal by a runner at first. Comes the 0-1, and it's in the dirt, and the count's 1-1 as Sexton squared. 1-1 the count. So here comes the 1-1. They're going to throw back behind Fahm, and he was not very far off the bag. Count remains 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 from Sherwood. That's high. And the count's 2-1. Hodson's on deck. He struck out his first time up. Then Botts and Evans. 2-1 the count here on Sexton. Here comes the 2-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count's 2-2. Strikeout would be big here for Sherwood. As here comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big first out for the Indians. 6th strikeout of the game for Sherwood. As Hodson comes to the plate, a strikeout victim his first time up. Seneca still wanting to roll 2 up the middle if they can. Here comes the first pitch. That's in there for a strike. Fastball at the knees. 0-1 the count. Now you may see some kind of steal trying to get to second or safety squeeze. And he's trying to bunt, and he bunts it foul. The count quickly 0-2. Have to think the bunt is off with 2 strikes. Unless you really, Hodson can really bunt with 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2. And that's a fastball high. Trying to get him to chase. 1-2 the count. Tennyson started with the double. He's at third. Fahm had a bunt signal. Runners are at first and third. That ball is poked foul. It's going to go into the softball field. Count remains 1-2. Got a big strike out of Sexton. Looking to strike out Hodson and get a second out. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's a big second out for Seneca. As Keegan Botts comes to the plate. Botts singled his first time up.
Batting number 33, the third baseman, Keegan Botts.
Number 8 hitter. Actually, are we going to have a pinch runner at first? It might be a Curtis pinch runner at third. Wade Harper is going to run for Mount Vernon at third base. So Wade Harper is going to run for Mount Vernon for Aiden Tennyson. Quicker runner here. They may be trying to get their runner at first in a pickle and see if Harper can come in and score. Comes the first pitch. They have the runner. They throw back and they got him. It's a 2-5 putout. It was a delayed steal, and Harper was too far off the bag, and that will end the inning. For Mount Vernon in the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they strand 1. We head to the 5th inning. It is 1-0 Seneca.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District, tradition, pride, class.
Brenton Crow to start off the inning for Seneca as he fouls the first pitch off, so the count is 0-1. 7-8-9, Crow, Yoakum, Owens. Anybody reaches Jagger Wilson would get to the plate. Seneca got out of a first and third no outs without any damage as that breaking ball is in the dirt. The count's 1-1. Numac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolue Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and Zach's Car Wash, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. So Mount Vernon stranded a double to start the inning and then a beautiful bunt base hit. Back-to-back strikeouts and then pick off a runner at third. Here comes the 1-1. Popped in the air, foul, out of play, and the count's 1-2. Crow fouled out to first his first time. Yoakum grounded out. Owens struck out. So your 3 scheduled hitters. 1-2 the count. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball hit on a couple hops to third. Nice play by the third baseman. High throw and safe at first base is Brenton Crow on the E5. As Wilmoth couldn't snag it out. So the leadoff runner is on for Seneca. Jackson Yoakum will come to the plate. Yoakum grounded out to second his first time up. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and the Springfield Cardinals sponsoring the broadcast. Comes the first pitch to Yoakum. He's going to bunt, and he deadens it beautifully. Only play is to first. It is a 1-3 putout, but it was a beautiful sac bunt that allows Crow to get to second. So now you got 2 opportunities with a runner in scoring position if you're Seneca. As Ryder Owens will step to the plate. Mid-America Specialty Markets, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, CareNet Pregnancy Center, all sponsoring the broadcast. Comes the first pitch to Owens. That ball is hit in the air to center fielder. It's going to come in and charge and snag it out there. There's 2 down. Kind of jammed Owens a little bit. It's now Jagger Wilson will come to the plate. Wilson walked into the third and came around and scored. Got an RBI out there if you can find a piece of grass in the outfield. There's a big gap in right center that they are playing him to pull. That right fielder is hugging that first base line. So here comes the first pitch to Wilson. Breaking ball just outside, and the count's 1-0. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, NWA Naturals, all sponsoring the broadcast. So here comes the 1-0 pitch from Hood. Long look in at his armband. And now here comes the 1-0. That is inside. And the count's 2-0. Wilson can be a little bit picky here. Two and 0 the count. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Hood. That pitch is fouled to the backstop, and so the count is now 2-1. Just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. 2-1 the count here on Wilson. Yes, Hood didn't like that sign, so he's going to get a new one. Here comes the 2-1 offering. That's outside. Counts 3-1. Sherwood's on deck. He has the lone RBI. And it was kind of a dribbler to right side. Second baseman couldn't quite knock it down. Allowed the runner from second, Wilson, to come in and score. 3-1 the count here on Wilson. So here comes that 3-1 from Hood. Breaking ball. Must have been just inside for ball 4. That one looked like a good pitch. Just inside. And runners are at first and second for Drew Sherwood. As coach going to go out and have a conversation with Hood. Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday, April 21st to begin a 6-game series versus the Wichita Wind Surge that goes through Sunday, April 26th. Ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com, supporter of high school baseball on KNEL. Also want to thank the Springfield Cardinals. They return home to Hammonds Field on Tuesday, April 21st, as they begin a 6-game series versus the Midland Rockhounds. It goes through Sunday, April 26th. For ticket information, visit springfieldcardinals.com, a supporter of high school baseball on KNEL. Long conversation here as Head coach is going to finally break it off, but Hood has been shaking off a couple of signs from the head coach, so you have to wonder if that's part of it. Drew Sherwood at the plate. He has the lone RBI, can help his own cause here with a base hit. If he can find a gap, Wilson is fast enough to score from first. If you can dunk one down the first or third base lines and have it roll there into foul territory, you can run for a while. But it's got to start fair. So here comes the first pitch from Hood. That fastball is high and outside. Counts 1-0. Hood is not missing by much, I'll say that. He's missing at spots, but not by much. 1-0 the count here on Sherwood. So here comes the 1-0 from Hood. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Counts 1-1. I think Sherwood was aiming for the scoreboard out there in right field. 1-1 the count. Seneca is able to get out of a jam in the top half. See what Mount Vernon does here in the bottom half. So that one's fouled out of play. And the count becomes 1-2, and now Sherwood needs to protect here with 2 strikes. And that was a walk and an error for the Indians that allowed those base runners to reach. Talk all the time. Those are what'll kill you in games. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit to the right side, and it hits Wilson, and that will end the inning. It would have been a single, but instead it's an out on the play, and that will end the inning. First, Seneca. No runs, no hits. There was an error, and they strand 2. 4.5 in the books. Seneca still up 1-0.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. More information 417-526-4984 or online at proluberepair.com.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Access Family Care serves all of your health care needs, from behavioral health to dental services to primary medical needs. AccessFamilyCare.org. Women's health, OBGYN services. AccessFamilyCare.org, with locations across Southwest Missouri. AccessFamilyCare.org. Quality, convenient health care. Access Family Care medical and dental clinics. Building relationships, providing great care.
Keegan Botts led off the 3rd inning with a base hit. Takes called strikes, counts 0-1. Botts, Evans, and then the top of the order and Cash Gardner. So that pitch is fouled off, and it counts 0-2. So here comes the 0-2 pitch from Sherwood. Trying to get him to chase that high fastball and could not. Counts 1-2. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, Safe First Storm Shelters, sponsoring the broadcast. 1-2 is in there for a called strike 3. And there's one down as Jax Evans will come to the plate. 8th strikeout of the game, and it's his 3rd strikeout in a row over 2 innings. Comes the first pitch, popped foul out of play, and the count is 0-1. Excuse me. Jax Evans is the one that bunted the ball, and it went about 2 feet in fair territory and called out. And there's a long discussion after that as that one's fouled out of play, and the count is 0-2. So there's a long discussion because the home plate umpire didn't see it. Field umpire is the one that called it, and then Mount Vernon coach talked to both umpires for a while. 0-2 the count here on Evans. That pitch is outside, maybe high as well, and the count is 1-2. For Sherwood, you would love a quick inning here. Here comes the 1-2. That breaking ball is outside, and the count's 2-2 as Evans has worked it from 0-2 to 2-2. So here comes the 2-2, and that pitch is foiled foul. So he is spraying it. And as that one goes into the softball field, the count remains 2-2. Here comes another 2-2 from Sherwood. That pitch is high, and Evans has worked it full. Worked it from no balls and 2 strikes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Don't want to walk the number 9 hitter. And he just did. Evans works the walk. Good at bat there by Evans as he'll be at first base. First walk given up by Sherwood as Cash Garner comes to the plate. He has 2 for 2. I believe the last one is the one hopper over Sherwood, and Wilson couldn't field it. Comes the first pitch. Breaking ball hit to the right side, and Albrecht stumbles, and he still is able to make the catch. He stumbled out in right field, falling to the ground, and he's still able to make the catch out there. And there's 2 down as Jackson Hood will come to the plate. He's 0 for 2.
Number 19, Jackson Hood.
You're also fighting the sun out there in right field, but Albrecht used to that playing in Seneca. First pitch to Hood, hit down the third baseline. McKinney makes a nice play. Long throw to first. Crow had to come off the bag. That's a nice job by Crow, though, to not try and stay on the bag and force something. So runners will be at first and second. As we're going to have a courtesy runner out there for the pitcher, Hood. And it's going to be Landon Wilmoth. That was a nice play by McKinney, and he tried to get all he could on that. And if he had a little bit more of an accurate throw, potentially could have got Hood out. Brody Wilmoth is at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Four-State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Huddle Springs Church of Christ, and Toner Connection. Mount Vernon has had base runners in every inning and still has not scored. First pitch in the dirt, good block there by Ball as it counts 1-0. Long look in by Sherwood, gets the sign that he likes. Here comes the 1-0. That's high. Counts 2-0. You don't really want to get to the cleanup hitter with the bases loaded. So you need to come after Wilmoth here. 2-0 the count. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Sherwood. That's inside, and it's 3-0. Base hit could potentially tie the contest. Ball in the gap could give Mount Vernon a lead. So here comes the 3-0 from Sherwood. That's in there for a strike. Count 3-1. Wilmoth was taken the entire way. 3-1 count. It's got to be his pitch if he's going to swing at it. Comes the 3-1 from Sherwood. 3-1 is in there for a strike, and he's worked it full to 3-2. Runners will be off So anything in the gap, Mount Vernon, probably that courtesy runner at first, has a chance to score. As here comes the 3-2. Runners are off. That ball is lifted in the air to left field. Yoakum drifting back and snags it in front of the fence. And that will end the inning. For Mount Vernon, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They strand 2. 5 in the books. Seneca up 1-0.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
3-4-5 for Seneca here in the 6th inning. Ball, Prater, and Heffron, the 3 scheduled hitters. Ball takes a ball high, and the count's 1-0. He's 0 for 2. Ground out and fly out victim. 1-0 the count. As here comes the 1-0 pitch. That is outside, and the count is 2-0. Everett at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. 2-0 the count here on ball. So here comes the 2-0 from Hood. That's inside, and the count's 3-0. Way ahead here. See if he's taken here on 3-0. Hood gets the sign. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Taking the entire way as Hood took a little bit off. Fires one over, and the count's 3-1. It's got to be your pitch here, 3-1, if you're going to swing. You may be taking here as well. Here comes the 3-1. He is taking, and it's outside, maybe high for ball 4. Leadoff walk for Seneca. It's Asher Prater will come to the plate. We'll see. As right now, ball going to run for himself. Prater comes to the plate. He has flown out to center field twice. Not a huge lead by ball at first. Here comes the first pitch. Prater golfs one to left. Left fielder slips, but he's able to snag it while he's on the knee. There's one down. Kind of like what happened to Albrecht out there. Except that was right field, and the left fielder there, Fahm, did a good job. Zian Heffron comes to the plate, 1 for 2. He has singled and flown out. Here comes the first pitch to Heffron. Fastball is high for a ball. The count's 1-0. Leadoff walk. See if Seneca can get that run in. It's the difference in the game. A walk came around and scored for Seneca in the 3rd. So here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Not far enough away for ball to try and take second. Good block behind the plate by Hodson. 1-1 the count here on Heffron. One out here. Top six. What has been a pitcher's duel throughout. 1-1 hits the outside corner. And the count is 1-2. And now with 2 strikes, Heffron needs to protect. So it gets sign he likes. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Batter at first, or Heffron is out because the base was occupied. Ball able to take second on the wild pitch. So there's 2 down now for Albrecht. Albrecht grounded out his first time up. Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. Visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. Seneca only 2 hits in the game. They have the lone run. Mount Vernon 6 hits and no runs. Here comes the first pitch to Albrecht. Fastball is in there for a strike. The count is 0-1. Playing with fire. This game stays 1-0. So here comes the 0-1 from Hood. Breaking ball stays high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs now here on the top of the 6th. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Albrecht swings and misses at the high fastball. The count's 1-2. Seneca has hit the ball, but they've hit it at Mount Vernon fielders, as Hood does not have a strikeout since that 3rd inning until Heffron struck out. 1-2 is swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hood. That will end the inning for Seneca. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. Head to the bottom of the 6th. Seneca up 1-0.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and...
Tornado season doesn't give you a warning, but you can be ready. State Line Welding and Fabrication builds heavy-duty steel, safe first storm shelters, fabricated right here locally and installed by people who know what they're doing. Reinforced construction, secure door systems, custom sizing. Protect what matters most. Get your quote today, 417-438-2135, or find them on Facebook.
4, 5, 6 due up for Mount Vernon here in the 6th. Aiden Tennyson, Zarek Fahm, and Jaden Sexton. Anybody who reaches Matt Hodson would come to the plate. This might be Mount Vernon's best chance. The first pitch is high for a ball. Count is 1-0. Sherwood needs a quick inning here for the Indians. 1-0 is spoiled foul into the softball field, and the count is 1-1. Tennyson 1 for 2, doubled his last trip. His pinch runner got picked off at third base. They had runners at first and third, no outs, and couldn't score. 2-1 the count. Comes the 2-1. That pitch is spoiled foul into the softball field as well, and the count's 2-2. Tennyson has struck out against Sherwood as well. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball is spoiled foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tennyson doing a good job of battling here. He's going to see a 6th pitch. Comes the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got him on the changeup. There's 1 down. 9th strikeout of the game for Sherwood. Zarek Fahm comes to the plate. He's 2 for 2. He had a bunt single his last time. Comes the first pitch to him. Popped foul, out of play. And the count is 0-1. Fahm and then Sexton. Anybody who reaches Hodson would come to the plate. 0-1 is in there, and the count is quickly 0-2. 0-2 the count here on Fahm. Here comes the 0-2 from Sherwood. That's high, trying to see if he would chase. Counts 1-2. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is hit in the air to right center field. It's going to dunk down in front of Heffron. And Fahm has had himself quite the day at the plate. It's 3 for 3. As Jaden Sexton will come to the plate, fly out, and strikeout victim. A 1-out base runner here for Mount Vernon. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports. Seneca at home against Lamar next Tuesday, on the road at Monette next Thursday. We'll have both those broadcasts for you. Next Thursday in Monette, that will be audio only. Comes the first pitch to Sexton, and that is inside, maybe high. Counts 1-0. Mount Vernon has done, so they will get to the top of their lineup, if nothing else, in the that pitch hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1 in the 7th. You're probably guaranteeing yourself that you won't see Jay Sherwood in the 7th either. 1-1 the count here, and they're going to throw behind Fahm, and he's back safely. Not a big lead over at first. Count remains 1-1. That pitch hits the outside corner. The count's 1-2. Again, Fahm not very far from the first base bag. Here comes the 1-2 from Sherwood. Swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down now as Matt Hodson will come to the play. Nope, pinch hitter. It's going to be Josh Vernon pitch hitting for Hodson. So it's a pinch hitter for Mount Vernon. Hodson was 0 for 2, so they're going to see what Vernon can do here. 2 outs here in the inning. Worst case scenario here for Mount Vernon, you'll have 8-9-1 in the 7th as that first pitch is over for a strike. 0-1 the count. Runner at first. As here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed, jammed him on that inside corner. The count is 0-2. So here comes 0-2 from Sherwood in the dirt. The runner going to try and take second, and he is in there safely. Wild pitch allows Fahm to get to second. And now a base hit would get the tying run in. Vernon 1-2 the count. As here comes the 1-2 pitch from Sherwood. That pitch hits the outside corner for strike 3. That will end the inning for Mount Vernon. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 6 in the books. Seneca has a 1-0 lead.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while spending on overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a faith-based alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to insurance and join CHM today.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small-town values and big-time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Brenton Crow leading off the inning here for Seneca. Reached on an error in the 5th. He's also fouled out as that first pitch is over for strikes. It counts 0-1. Crow, Yoakum, and Owens, the 3 due up. Anybody reaches, Jagger Wilson would come back to the plate. 0-1 stays high. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count here on Crow. Comes the 1-1. That pitch sails all the way to the backstop, and the count is 2-1. Actually hits back to the catcher Hodson. 2-1 the count. Seneca looking for some insurance. Here in the top of the 7th, the lone run was scored in the 3rd. Comes the 2-1 breaking ball in there for a strike. Counts 2-2. As Hood looking for strikeout number 7 for Mount Vernon. As here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball popped foul into the screen. Count will remain 2-2. Crow did a good job fighting that one off and keeping himself alive. As here comes another 2-2 offering from Hood. This 2-2 just gets a piece, and Hodson can't catch it behind the plate. Count remains 2-2. Crow doing what he needs to do to keep himself alive. 2-2 the count. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Good battle here. Hood steps off. And so Crow steps out of the box. Here comes another 2-2. Breaking ball hit to the left side. It is a fair ball, and first baseman can't snag it, and Crow is going to stay at first base. I think it's an infield single. It was a late call by the home plate umpire. I think you give an infield single there because that was a tough play for the third baseman. Long throw over as well as Jackson Yoakum come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He had a sac bunt his last time up. He deadened it well in front of the plate. See if they try and have him bunt again. So here comes the first pitch, and that's outside, and the count is 1-0. Yoakum did not square that first time. 1-0 the count. Crow the runner at first. Not a big lead at first either. A 1-0 hits the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. If you can get that leadoff hitter to second base, give yourself a couple opportunities to try and drive him in and get a big insurance run. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Counts 1-2. Slow looper. Jackson Hood must have been thinking fastball on that pitch. Count remains 1-2. Crow over at first base. Comes the 1-2 from Hood. Breaking ball, gets a piece, keeps himself alive. Good job there by Yoakum. Count remains 1-2. So here comes another 1-2 pitch from Hood. That 1-2 is a fastball, an emergency swing. Got a hack, got a piece. Keeps himself alive. Yoakum doing a good job of battling here. Once again, the count remains 1-2. So here comes the 1-2 offering. Breaking ball poked in the air, and the pitcher is going to snag it for out number 1. Be kind of interesting because kind of got in the way of the first baseman there, but Crow just trying to go back to the bag, and Hood may be out of pitches, so we may be seeing a pitching change here. We'll go ahead and take a timeout, come back with the change after this.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the 4-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. In basketball, running and
Billy Graham talks about driving.
I read about a woman who tried her driver's test for the 38th time and failed. And perhaps you've tried nearly that many times for a license spiritually, to sit in the driver's seat of your own life. I'm asking you to move over and trust the Holy Spirit to drive and control your life. You can be alive right now physically, but your soul is dead. Your spirit is dead, and you keep searching for something and you can't find it. You'll never find what you're looking for in life till you come to the cross of Christ and are born again. Do you know Christ? Are you sure? God can give you a whole new life, a transformation that you never dreamed existed, if you let Him.
Discover how you can let God get behind the wheel of your life at findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back as Peyton Campbell going to be the new pitcher here for Mount Vernon. 1 out here in the inning. Ryder Owens at the plate. Bretton Crow is at first base. Hood pitched well, but unfortunately, if you're a Mount Vernon fan, in line for the loss. Campbell going to throw to second. And out at second, it's a 1-4 putout. He was going to go to first and not think about it before everybody else realized what was going on, as Jagger Wilson will come to the plate. 0 for 1. He's walked twice. Hood in line for the loss. 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's responsible, or no, his responsibility is done because Crow was his responsibility. So that is his final line. It's a breaking ball just inside on Wilson, and the count's 1-0. Campbell, a lefty here. Want to know the count. As Campbell waiting for the sign from his coach. Here comes the 1-0. That's low, and the count is 2-0. New pitcher sometimes is helpful for you. Sherwood should be 2 for 3, but he's 1 for 3 because of runner's interference. He grounded out in the 5th. That could have been a big insurance run. 2-0 the count here on Wilson. Here comes the 2-0. That is outside, and the count is 3-0. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. And it's inside, almost hit him. And it's ball 4. Couple big insurance runs for Seneca on the bases. Runners are at first and second. Sherwood 1 for 3. Technically should be 2 for 3, but runner's interference was an out in the 5th, and that ended the inning. Lefty-lefty matchup here, just like it was for Wilson. First pitch to Sherwood is in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Some big insurance runs. 0-1 is high and inside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mount Vernon will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in their half of the 7th. I'll need at least 1 to tie it, see if they need more. Comes the 1-1. That hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-2. Not much of a reaction from Sherwood. Counts 1-2 now. Base hit. Owens would try and score. You figure. 1-2 the count. Comes the 1-2. That's outside. The count's 2-2. The count becomes full. You get the runners both off on the play. But it's a 2-2 count right now. Here comes the 2-2 offering. That's hit him. And the bases will be loaded. So Silas Ball really can bust this one open. Get a couple of insurance runs. Ball walked in the 6th. He's 0 for 2, ground out, fly out victim. As here comes the first pitch from Campbell. Ball hit in the air, and it is going to be out on the play. I don't know if they tagged Ryder Owens or runner's interference again, but it ends the inning. And Seneca strands 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left. We head to the bottom of the 7th with Seneca clinging to a 1-0 lead.
Isn't it a terrible thing to be lost? No matter how on track you may think your life is, eventually, we all realize we are lost. Jesus told us that He was the way, the truth, and the light. If you would like to speak to someone right now about finding your way in life through a relationship with Jesus Christ, just call us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and mobile check deposit, plus a bundled savings account to help them plan ahead. Parents get peace of mind with no monthly fees, parental debit card controls, alerts and notifications, joint ownership, and full account access. Stop by any First Community Bank location to open a teen checking account today. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for details.
8, 9, and 1 for Mount Vernon here in the 7th, needing 1 to tie and 2 to walk it off as Keegan Botts will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He has singled and he has also struck out. Sherwood will start the 7th here. First pitch is laced into left field for a single, and the tying run is going to be at first base. As Evans will come to the plate. Evans 0 for 1. He's also walked. Number 9 hitter up. You have to figure potential bunt is coming. He got called out trying to bunt in the first. He squares. It's bunted. It's a fair ball. Sherwood going to field it, throw to first. It's a 1-3 put out, but the sacrifice bunt does allow the tying run to get to second. Garner at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Hood, who's on deck, is 1 for 3. 2 pitches here in the inning, and there's 1 out and a runner at second base. 1-0. Excuse me, 1-0 is your score. Comes the first pitch, popped in the air. Foul, and it's going to sneak out of play. And the count is 0-1. The count. If he can't get on here or he takes a pitch, this will be Sherwood's last batter. As coach or the umpire is going to say that they can't be doing that in the middle of at bat, and now the Mount Vernon coach is gonna be saying not happy with what's going on. And now the fans behind us have something to say. 0-1 the count here on Garner. Runner at second is the tying run. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike, and the count's 0-2. I believe this will be Sherwood's final batter. 0-2 the count. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. He may be able to face Jackson Hood here because if my calculations are correct, this will be pitch 105. So he will get to finish Hood. That was a big strikeout on 3 pitches, and the first 2 batters swung at the first pitch. Hood 1 for 3. Foul tipped into the mitt, and the count is 0-1. Tying run at second for Mount Vernon. Sherwood trying to complete game. They throw back behind Bots, and he's back safely. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1 from Sherwood. That pitch is hit in the air to right center field, and it's going to fall. The tying run is going to come in and score, and it is tied at 1 as that one was just dunked in by Jackson Hood, and that is the final batter for Drew Sherwood. As Sherwood went 6 2/3 innings, couldn't quite get that final out. Pitching change up coming for Seneca. We'll tell you about it after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District, tradition, pride, class.
Ian Heffron will come in to pitch for Seneca, trying to get us 2 extra innings here. He'll face Brody Wilmoth, who's 0 for 3. Flew out to left field his last time up. Drew Sherwood is responsible for the runner at first. 6 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. However, he is responsible for that game-winning run at first base. So Jackson Hood will end up with a no decision here for Mount Vernon. Sherwood still could potentially take a loss here if Heffron can't get one more out. I'll see how aggressive they are with Jackson Hood at first base. You knew 1 run wasn't going to do it. Those were some big insurance runs for Seneca. In the 7th, that couldn't come in and score. As Brody Wilmoth comes to the plate, he's 0 for 3. This one's going to be Heffron's game from here on out. As here comes the first pitch. He's going on the play, and he's in safely to second base. 0-1 the count here on Wilmoth, but now that game-winning run is at second base. Now, base hit. Mount Vernon could win it. 0-1 the count. It was a bloop single by Hood. I got that tying run in. Breaking ball is in there for a strike, and the count's quickly 0-2. Heffron trying to send us to extra innings. What has been a pitcher's duel here in Mount Vernon. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Popped in the air foul, and it's going to get out of play. Count remains 0-2. As here comes another 0-2 offering. Breaking ball, just spoiled foul. As he's been able to foul off a couple of pitches. And those have been pretty good locations from Heffron. 0-2, the count remains. Here comes another 0-2 offering, a big lead at second. Pitch gets by, ball. The wild pitch is now going to allow the game-winning run to go to third. Popped out of the glove of Ball as that one got away from Heffron a little bit. 1-2 the count. Mount Vernon's winning run is 90 feet away. Heffron a strike away from sending us to extra innings. Comes the 1-2. Popped in the air in foul territory. McKinney calling for it, and he can't grab it in front of the Mount Vernon dugout. And Wilmoth gets an extra life. That's a tough place for it because you're going from the sun to the shade. We'll see if that hurts Seneca here. Counts remains 1-2. Here comes another 1-2 from Heffron. Breaking ball, foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. And we will see extra innings here in Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon gets 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand game-winning run at third base. Head to the 8th, we are tied at 1.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. More information 417-526-4984 or online at proluberepair.com.
We're very good at complicating what it means to follow Jesus. We create formulas, steps, laws, roads, and fundamentals. Jesus' call was clear and simple. Follow me. The Gospels tell the complete story of what it means to follow Jesus. It starts with follow me and grows to loving God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Begin today. Make the decision to follow Jesus. For more on what it means to follow Jesus, call 1-888-NEED-HIM. 888-NEED-HIM.
You found it, the ultimate car wash. The one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Neither starting pitcher will factor in the decision here this evening. So we head to the 8th, and it will be Peyton Campbell and Ian Heffron. Right now the pitchers are record. Seneca 4-5-6 here in the 8th. Prater hits one through the left side for a single. Gets underneath the glove of the third baseman. And the leadoff runner is on for Seneca, and you have to think a pinch runner is coming for Asher Prater. And there is. It's number 5, Derek Sherwood. So Derek Sherwood pinch running for Asher Prater. Ian Heffron now comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3, singled in the second. He flew out in the 4th and struck out in the 6th. See if Seneca's playing small ball or looking for a big inning. As here comes the first pitch to Heffron. That ball is hit to second. Throws to shortstop for 1 and safe at first. It is a fielder's choice. Heffron got down the line. It's a 4-6 putout, and there's 1 down for Remington Albrecht. Albrecht 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Good job there by middle infield for Mount Vernon as Jax Evans fielded and flipped it to Cash Garner. Got the lead runner for Mount Vernon. Comes the first pitch to Albrecht, trying to bunt his way on, and he swung and missed. Went too far, and the count's 0-1. Trying to push it down that first baseline. I think he was trying to bunt for a base hit. 0-1 the count. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swinging away, and he takes for ball 1. 1-1 the count. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Mount Vernon has stranded a lot more base runners, but Seneca stranded the bases loaded in the 7th. So that pitch is inside, and the count's 2-1 as he squared the bunt there. 2-1 the count here on Albrecht. See what happens here on a 2-1 count. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Campbell. Swinging away and misses at it, and the count's 2-2. Now with 2 strikes, you need to protect here. If you can foul something off if you don't get a good look at it. It's in the strike zone. Runner at first is Heffron. 2-2 is in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Hodson. The count's full at 3-2. With 1 out, do you take a gamble and send Heffron towards second? Full count here as Campbell has not stepped on the rubber yet. Here comes the full count pitch. Swung and foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. And there's 2 down now as Brenton Crow will come to the plate. Crow singled his last plate appearance, and third baseman Botts made a nice play on it, but couldn't get it over to first in time. Heffron a sizable lead over at first. Crow takes a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Mount Vernon will have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up in their half of the 8th. 0-1 the count here on Crow. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit to the left side. Shortstop makes a diving effort at it, and he is out. It is a 6-3 putout. And Mount Vernon gets out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom half of the inning, still tied at 1.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
4, 5, 6 do it for Mount Vernon here in their half of the 8th inning. Tennyson, Pham, and Sexton, the 3 scheduled hitters here. Tennyson 1 for 3. Pham is 3 for 3. Sexton is 0 for 3. I think if you're Seneca, you need to get Tennyson out the way Pham has been hitting the baseball here this afternoon. So here comes the first pitch from Heffron. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. He's got 2 strikeouts to go along with that double. Here comes the 0-1. That is outside, and the count's 1-1. What you really don't want to do is allow the winning run on. As that pitch is high and inside, and the count's 2-1. Don't want to allow that leadoff runner on with Pham on deck, who's 3 for 3. That hits the outside corner, and the count is 2-2. 2-2 the count. Heffron came in a hard situation and struck out Wilmoth. Can he start with the strikeout here? 2-2, breaking ball. He just got a piece and kept himself alive. It was an emergency hack on the breaking ball, and he got a piece. 2-2, the count remains. So here comes another 2-2 offering. Swung on and missed for strike 3. 1 down, that is a big out to start, because Pham is a perfect 3 for 3 on the afternoon.
Left fielder, number 21, Zarek Pham.
You would love to find a way to get him out. Comes the first pitch to him. Fouled into the screen, and the count is 0-1. Maybe different. As Pham obviously has not seen Heffron. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That fastball stays high, and the count's 1-1. 1-1 the count here on Pham. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and missed, and the count moves to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Pham. Here comes the 1-2. That is just outside, and the count is 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 offering. That pitch is just up, and Pham has worked it full to 3-2. Don't want to allow the game-winning run on here if you're Seneca. Here comes the 3-2 offering. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3, and that is a big first out for big second out for the Indians as they get Pham out for the first time here today. As Jaden Sexton will climb in. He is 0 for 3. A fly out and 2 strikeouts. Comes the first pitch to him. That's over for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Two outs here in the 8th. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. And the count's 0-2. Heffron looking to strike out the side here. Here comes the 0-2 offering. That's low. Couldn't get him to chase. And the count is 1-2. Seneca can send it to the 9th. They would have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up. Here comes the 1-2. That pitch is golfed foul. So he does a good job of keeping himself alive. 1-2, the count remains. Comes another 1-2 offering. He gets a piece again. He's fouled off a couple of pitches here. His count remains 1-2. Seneca trying to send this to a ninth inning. As here comes another 1-2 offering. Popped in the air, foul, out of play. Count remains 1-2. He's fouled off 3 straight. As Sexton kept himself alive. Efren's been hitting his spots. Sexton's done a good job of fouling him off. Swung on and missed for strike 3. You're going to have to complete the strikeout, and Crow gets pulled off the bag. So it's a strikeout, but the wild pitch allows the inning to continue. As Matt Hodson will come to the plate. Hodson 0 for 2. Yes. Struck out twice. That is the 4th strikeout of the game by Heffron. So here comes the first pitch from Heffron. That's high and inside for a ball, and the count's 1-0. Number 7 hitter here for Mount Vernon. Can't allow that game-ending run, game-winning run to get to second. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Counts 1-1. Seneca has not scored since the 3rd. Mount Vernon scored the tying run in the 7th. 1-1 is outside, and the count's 2-1. In fact, Mount Vernon had the game-winning run at 3rd in the 7th. And Heffron was able to strike out Wilmoth to send us to extras. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And safe at second on the play is Sexton. But if you're Seneca, you just want to worry about Hodson at the plate. The count is 2-2. Sexton picked a good pitch to run on. You're a strike away from getting us to the 9th inning. Comes a 2-2. Popped in the air, foul, and that's going to sneak out of play. As we are out of baseballs once again. Count remains 2-2. Number 8 hitter Keegan Botts is on base. Or excuse me, on deck. He's 2 for 3. So here comes the 2-2. That ball is hit up the middle. It's going to be a single. They're going to send the runner home. Sherwood going to throw home, and in safely is going to be Jaden Sexton, and the wild pitch strikeout comes back to bite Seneca, as that is the game-winning hit by Matt Hodson. Mount Vernon improves to 6-8 overall, 2-2 in Big 8 play. Seneca falls to 11-4 on the season, 2-1 in Big 8 play. The postgame show is sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District after this break on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
When we look back through our lives, we remember the friendships we had over the years. If we're lucky, some of those same friends are still in our lives. However, odds are that we may not be very close to many of those old friends. But there is one relationship you can trust forever. That is a relationship with Jesus. He loves you and will never leave you once you commit to Him. If you want to learn more about that kind of relationship with Jesus, then call us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
And we welcome you back for the final time. The post-game show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. Seneca falls here in extra innings. 2-1 the final score, and they were playing with fire all night long as Mount Vernon finished the evening with 11 hits, and they had one error, and they strand 8 for Seneca. 1 run in the contest on 3 base hits. Maybe 4 base hits, 4 base hits. They did not have an error, and they stranded 9 of their own. So that was kind of the difference in the game. Seneca had a chance in the 7th, bases loaded, couldn't get a run in. Had chances in the 5th, runners at first and second with 2 outs, couldn't score. Mount Vernon hung around, got a 2-out base knock in the 7th that tied it. Got a 2-out base knock in the 8th that won it. Neither starter was part of the ending, but both of them pitched well. Jackson Hood, no decision, 6 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Peyton Campbell picks up the win, 1 2/3, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Drew Sherwood gets a no decision, 6 2/3 innings. He scattered 10 hits and 1 run, walked 1, struck out 12. Ian Heffron takes the loss. He pitched an inning, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 4 strikeouts. That dropped 3rd strike is what eventually became the game-winning run. That will do it for us here this evening from Mount Vernon. Our next next Seneca broadcast will be on Tuesday evening as the Indians host Lamar. 4:30 first pitch, 4:10 airtime from Seneca. I'm Ben Wolcott saying so long here from Mount Vernon. We thank you for watching and listening to Seneca Indian Baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.